then came out in his favorite jacket, and this time he didn't have one, but he had two chains. It was Theory two chain Theory, in his typical heel attire, a hunter
Two
green jacket.
chains.
His hunter green jacket with no shirt underneath, because that's what your boy wears when he's a heel.
That's what's in right
Anyway,
now, Sarah. Do you not know
apparently,
fashion?
I wouldn't know what the kids are wearing. He's like, what, 24 years old? I don't know.
What if I just started
So
showing up to work and just jackets and just shirtless?
I couldn't do that.
I couldn't
But
either, but like
well,
balls to do it.
yeah.
But
I
yes,
mean,
continue.
so he comes out, cuts a promo after he you know, acknowledges his body before he enters the ring. I don't know if you notice that when he does that, he's always just like, look at this. Goes in and cuts a promo, calls himself the Future, mocks Rollins, of course, because they're continuing that. And then Rollins comes out on crutches, and I was like, oh, goodness gracious. But then he gets rid of them basically, like, as he's getting into the
Incredible.
ring. So I was like, thank you, goodness gracious, because I think we talked about it last week, and I was like, oh, it's like such a sucky time for him to get injured. So I'm very happy to see that it was just storyline, which, I mean, that's fine, but I feel like they didn't really need it, if we're being honest. I kind of am confused about it, because it literally lasted like a week, but like we didn't even see Seth like with the crutches until last night or until Monday. So I was
Yeah, I
like,
think that was the
okay.
point.
So the two go back and forth with words. Rollins says his knee is not 100%, and then Theory says he is going to win the Royal Rumble. Rollins says he will. And then Bobby Lashley music hits, who was suspended a week or two before by Adam Pearce, and he comes out and immediately spears Theory, who I don't know, bounces out of the ring.
Isn't
And
it great?
he says his suspension is over, that he will be back, and he is going to be in the Rumble match. So yeah, I mean, those are all three names that I think we knew were going to be there, but I'm kind of surprised in a way that Theory isn't getting a match,
Yeah,
given their storyline.
it's just not worth it. It's two rumbles. I get why they're not doing it.
Well, okay, again,
My
whatever.
my comment about that segment is I am obsessed with how the fans just sing like oh, and it's deafening when he tries to
Yeah.
speak, like, and it's just they're serenading him,
Mhm.
kind of like it's at like that is just you're so over, and not only that, like it's it's really just unbelievable to watch and just take in. I don't know. I just like I could watch that happen and be totally fine. It's incredible.
And I wish that his song had more of it, like it lasted longer, like that part where they sing
Yes.
instead of it changing back. Like, I don't like this music that he has. Like, I don't like the way they remixed it and whatever. Like, I like the original one that he had that started with the Burn It Down. I like that one better. But I do think that because they're singing it, I wish that there was more of that throughout the song that like stayed playing for longer periods of time, if that makes sense. Because I feel like it would be a lot easier for people to sing rather than they like do it and then they have to pause for a second and then it's like the guitar and it's like, oh, okay, now we do it again. And it's like, I don't particularly love that. But yeah, no, I think it's kind of one of those things that's funny because it's the same thing with like Kurt Angle, and when his music plays, they say you suck. And it's like the
Yeah.
biggest reason why it caught on was because he didn't want them to do it. And it's like it
Oh, it
still
was
happens.
incredible.
So it's
Yeah.
either like they embrace it or they are like, don't do it. And then the fans are like, we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna egg him on even more.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's my
Yeah, so
favorite part.
I enjoy that. Glad to see that, like I said, that his injury is not real, because that would be just terrible timing. But yeah, I'm curious to see where this whole thing goes, because I mean I feel like this has been dragging on for quite a while now for the US title. Um, but I guess it's kind of like the number one championship on Raw, because I mean, Roman is never on Raw, and he never defends his title on Raw. So um I guess the US title is the number one thing right now. So they have to have this going right now with Rollins and Lashley to make it seem super important. I don't know. Especially, I mean, they have the Intercontinental on SmackDown, and that's, I would say, I mean, like, that's been a huge title the last several months.
Do you think it's
So
funny they put the US title on Raw on the USA Network?
I didn't think about it,
You
but
never thought about that?
I mean, I think it's just like the way it
I
happened, but
disagree. I think there was some planning there.
I mean, possibly.
'Cause then the
Um
USA Network has their own championship. Think
oh
about it.
wait, there's a